I'm curious, do you know the feeling of being trapped in an emotion? Almost like you're possessed by your emotional body, and the more you analyze it and the more you try to get out, the deeper in you go. Do you know what I'm talking about? I've struggled with my deep feelings for my entire life, and they are the roots of my power and how I am able to help so many people, but I still experience the challenge of deep feeling. And today I want to walk you through a process that I use to alchemize any emotion. Alchemize means to turn the lead of your human experience into the gold of a spiritual enlightenment. One of the biggest shadows of the New Age and spiritual community is bypassing, where we are conditioned to be better than, better than, better than. We all have this conditioning from the culture that we grew up in. Let me know if you didn't get that, but I certainly did. The hundreds of clients that I work with through the past decade have gotten that conditioning of be the best, you're never enough. This is the patriarchal system that we are in. And a lot of that has been translated to spirituality and this patriarchal spiritual path where you are focused on ascension, on purification, on getting to the next level, getting to the next level, getting to the next level, getting to the next level. So you're doing a lot in the upper chakras, but you're actually bypassing your humanity. And I've totally been here, still peeling back the conditioning. But a huge problem I see in these spiritual circles is disassociation, the unwillingness to be human and to sit in the shit, so to speak, right? We have these amazing teachers, Abraham Hicks, where it's positive focus. Don't look at the negative. Don't look at the negative. And I've gotten so much from her teachings. I'm not saying that she's negative at all. I'm just saying that is one half of how we become whole again, how we remember our wholeness is about that ascension. Reach for the next positive thought. Reach up. Can you feel this upward focus? Now, spiritual tools can be used to abandon the self. Whereas you might sit down and go into this shadow work, child healing process with the goal to get happy fast. I used to do this, and my inner child would say, the access to the inner world that creates the results of your life, access denied. We can't fool our inner child, the God within, this part of us that is always serving us, even if it's doing things that are outdated or limiting. So, what I have trained myself to do is to remove those ulterior motives. Stop trying to feel better. There's nothing wrong with trying to feel better unless you are using that as a way to abandon yourself the way that you are. If you are waiting for the perfected state, if you are waiting to heal that one thing before you love yourself, if you're in the waiting room to actually enjoy your life and love yourself, this is for you. This is for the person who's out there doing the tools, doing the inner child work, but looping. I'm in the same place. I'm feeling the same emotions. It's not working. The work is not working. This video is for you. You have been using the patriarchal model in your spirituality. Get to the next level, get to the next level, get to the next level, up and above, up and above. And this is the system of there's a Father God up above in the sky, not here. This is the transcendent part of your essence of the divine. The transcendent part is get beyond this human experience, detach from your experience, let go of attachment, absolve yourself into the all, release your ego, let go of your known identity. Do you feel what I'm talking about here? And I love these teachings. Don't get me wrong. The Buddhist teachings of non-attachment, of objective viewing yourself, of expanding into the all. I'm a Pisces, trust that. I love those teachings. And I used those teachings to abandon myself. And what I was brought back into is shamanism, earth medicine, which is the current of the feminine. It is the downward spiral into matter, the spiral into matter, into earth, into your experience, just the way you are. What if the way that you are right now, in all your flaws and all your gifts, what if you were already enough? What if there's no perfected state? How much time are you spending healing? How much time are you spending reaching for a better state, a higher state? And maybe you're starting to feel this anger or this pushback, the wild woman of, I need you to stop hunting the next best version of you. I need you to let me be enough as I am. And that's a level of acceptance that heals through our past, present, and future without trying to heal. So when I go in and I do inner child work, which means I put down the phone, I put down the distractions, and I sink into myself, I don't go there to try and feel better fast. I go there to presence with my emotions the exact way that they are. I bring my consciousness. This is the Hyros Gamos, the alchemical marriage. I bring my consciousness, my awareness, the transcendent part of me that is unattached, the loving awareness into my body, into my emotions, and into the feminine. And I hold loving presence. I don't try to change anything. Maybe I cry, maybe I rage, and I start to unblend from the part of me that's upset. So, for the past few days, I've been feeling really heavy emotions, really sad, and I spent time analyzing it. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Well, you can't always analyze the emotions. The mind is a different realm than the emotions. The emotions are the language of the symbolic, of the archetypal, of this inner landscape. And when you go into these practices of alchemy and inner wholeness and this type of meditative experience, you want to lay down your logic. You want to lay down your analytical mind. Your analytical mind will bring you to the door of spirit. Your willingness to feel will bring you through the door into the place of true power. And that's where we have gotten off track. We have been, as a culture, obsessed with the masculine, obsessed with external results, obsessed with the mind. And this is your blinking red light invitation to come back to what is temporal, the immanence of your essence of God. The immanence is that your true nature, God, the divine, love, whatever you want to call it, is inside of matter, is inside the imperfect, is inside blood and bone, is inside your emotions. Yes, every one of them. This is a more shamanic and tantric path where we harness your present experience, the grief, the suffering, the pain, the joy, the fullness of your human temporal experience as a place for enlightenment. Not an obsession with purification, but a willingness to be as you are and to love what is. And in doing so, something alchemical happens. There's a loosening, there's a softening. When you come with love to your inner world, you hear access granted. When you come with judgment, you get access denied. And remember, mystics know this. Your inner world is mirrored outside of you, always in the occurrences of your life, the relationships. The inner world organizes physical reality. We know this scientifically through the power of intention, the power of focused intention, and it changes matter. Through our focus, the observer effect, we make something real. We collapse energy into form. The inner organizes the outer. And I really invite you into this non-patriarchal spirituality where you find God in grief, where you find enlightenment in sorrow and in joy. And you don't do that by fighting it or trying to fix it or trying to feel better. Just write the gratitude list. Listen, that's one half, but I'm speaking to the person that stopped working for you because you're actually up until this moment, you haven't been willing to sit with what is and to find God there. And when you sit with what is and you breathe and you unblend, which means you observe your experience, you feel into it, and you witness yourself in those emotions, and you ask the part of you that's sad, the part of you that's grieving, the part of you that is calling your attention. I'm right here with you. What can I do for you? How can I love you? What can I do to support you right now? You unblend, which means you speak to the part that is upset. There's a part of you that's calling you on the phone. I need you. I need you. And we've been trained to pop the pill. We've been trained to drink a beer. We've been trained to suppress because people who suppress are more likely to follow others, to follow the crowd, to be a sheep. A person of wholeness is incredibly difficult to control. A person of wholeness is a person of power, and a person of power is incredibly hard to control. And this is that work of inner wholeness where you own your shadow, where you go into your emotions and you have tea with your demons, as some would say. And that inner demon is a 2-year-old child that thought mom and dad left them. The boogeyman that you're running from is an inner 2-year-old that wants you to hold it. The boogeyman is the inner child that is trying to survive. So as you go in and say out loud, I'm completely here with you now, you actually go into the emotions. But you don't get lost in them. Stay with me. Maybe you set a timer. Maybe you do this with a therapist, right? Be gentle. The point is that you stop trying to feel better and you start actually going in and answering the call of your emotional body. That doesn't mean you take action from that place of emotional possession, so to speak, when it comes over your nervous system. It means that you go into the experience with your conscious awareness and you stay lucid. You stay present with yourself. I'm right here. I know that hurts. I'm right here with you. You unblend. And now the God within you is speaking to your inner child. Speak to the part of you that is asking for your attention. I'm right here. I'm so sorry. What can I do? And you might be amazed that you hear a voice back or you feel a boundary or truth that comes from that emotion. And I really love sometimes to set a timer, right? 10 minutes to rage, 10 minutes to cry. Go into the experience. Don't be afraid. And after the timer goes off, you float back up to the surface, you drink tea, you go into nurturing, and you collect yourself. You collect those parts of you that have just been asking to be felt that whole time. We're going through the emotion. We're not gratitude listing our way out of it. This saved my life. And I first learned this practice from Teal Swan, where she taught sinking into the emotional body. And I adapted it and I made it my own. But she was the first one to really bring this to my attention in a world that loved bypassing. And I'm so sensitive that I'm not able to bypass. I don't have masks to put on. If I'm sad and I'm hanging out with somebody, I'll cry. And maybe you're like that too, where you're just not made to fake it. You're not created that way. You don't have what it takes to fake it. Congratulations. And you are a permission slip for others to be unnumb. So let's take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. And your breath is the doorway between the physical world and the spiritual world, just like the heart chakra is the bridge between the lower three chakras of earth, the more earthly experience, and the upper three heavenly chakras. Your breath, your heart is the bridge. The next time you feel a strong emotion, go in, find God there, and see what the message is, if it has one. And remember, analyzing will take you to the door of power, but going through the door requires your willingness to feel deeply and to create that level of wholeness through the practice of going in and breathing and speaking to yourself. And if you want my support with that, I have different ways. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a Substack. I have different offerings. I do mentorship for women with a group of women that I'm doing it now with. Sovereign Soul is the name of the program. And there are ways to link arms with me and have me support you in this journey. A therapist is great. Go to somebody you trust and do this practice with them, because I will tell you that it saved my life. Drop a heart below if you're listening to this on YouTube and let me know if this really spoke to you today. I love you. You can do this. You are so wise. You have what it takes to feel into your experience and to stop running. See you next week.